Hey, what's up? Are you going on a trip to Mexico? You don't know the currency exchanges, you don't know the places to go, you don't know the methods of transportation, or if you just want to know if Mexico is really safe. In this video, I'm going to walk you in a step-by-step guide on how to travel to Mexico, and we're going to start right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Anthony and welcome back to my channel. If you're looking for tips and tricks in how to travel and you want to get the most out of your experiences, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna share all these tips with you. Stay tuned. Okay guys, for your information, this guide will be broken down into 5 parts. So every single part, the continuation of this part, which is this part number 1, the continuation for this part is going to be number 2. So it's going to be a link down below in the description so you can go and play that. And also this one is going to be a part of a playlist. So as soon as this one finishes, and it's going to jump back into the second one. Also, I saved the best place to the end, and I decided to title it Hidden Treasures of Mexico because this place is amazing and most people don't even know about this place because only Spanish people know about it, but a lot of tourists from Europe and USA don't really know too much about this place. So I hope you like it, and we're gonna jump right back into the content, so stay tuned. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start with the first question, which is Mexico really safe? And you probably heard so many stories about Mexico and the things that's happening in Mexico. Let me tell you something. If you're not looking for any places that I'm gonna show you on the screen right now, which is between the border between Mexico and USA, you don't have to worry about anything. And most likely you're gonna be looking into places like CANCUN, PLAYAS DEL CARMEN, Tulum, OAXACA, ISLA de las Mujeres, and the Mexico City, which is going to be the capital. And as I was saying before, the last part, which is going to be the last video on this series of complete guide, is going to be one of the best ones in my preference, and I'll encourage you so you can watch it. So overall, to give you a quick summary, if somebody's going to tell me what would you rate Mexico on a scale from 1 to 10, how safe is that? I would definitely say that is a 4, just because in any place, in any country, they're always gonna have a goods and bads, and I would say that Mexico is pretty safe. Okay, so now that we have this out of the way, we're gonna jump into the currency. So what is the currency of US dollars to Mexican pesos? When we went there, which it was like a couple months ago, the currency was $1 US dollar equals to 21 pesos. As of today, which is today is gonna be March 2nd, 2018, the currency is 18.89 pesos, which translates to 1 American dollar. So this is gonna be the currency as of now. So now that you know all the currency between Mexico, I'm gonna explain you how you can get the most out of your currency. Number 1, make sure you don't do any type of currency exchange on the banks in America, or if you live in the United States or any part of the world. They're gonna charge you a lot of fees. Number 2, do not exchange your money in the airport because they are going to charge you a lot of fees as well. And number 3, once you complete number 1, number 2, make sure to use your credit card all over the place. So wherever you go, try to use your credit card because they're gonna charge you less interest than in the airport, or if you decide to exchange the money in whatever country you live on. So make sure you use your credit card because it's gonna save you a lot of money. And most of the credit cards, they're gonna give you points back for whatever purchase that you're gonna make. If that's for food, if that's gonna be for transportation, or if you're gonna buy something in Mexico, make sure you use your credit card because it's gonna give you points back in cash back, or if you wanna redeem that in traveling. So if you spend like $1,000, $2,000, and if you wanna get back money on that, so with the credit cards, it's gonna allow you to get the money back, or if you decide to travel with those points. So that's gonna be tip number 3, and the last tip is gonna be tip number 4. So number 4, if you decide to take money out, make sure to use your card or your bank so you can withdraw the money from the banks in Mexico because they're gonna charge you a lot less fees. and you pretty much can take money out from whatever bank that you want to go in. So they're gonna charge you a lot less fees, and that's gonna be my tips for the currency exchange. So make sure you implement these in your traveling, and it's gonna save you a lot of money. Okay, now that we have transportation, currency, and also we went over the topic of how safe is Mexico. So now I'm gonna take you to the places that we went, and I'm gonna explain you the best zones that you can stay in, especially if you're going to all these touristic places. So let me jump back into the content. The first place that I'm gonna cover in this complete guide series is gonna be Tulum. After our trip to Cuba, we decided to go to Mexico for 3 weeks, and me and my friend made a route to different places so we can go backpacking. So we landed in the CANCUN airport on a Wednesday. We knew that there were not going to be too much to do on a Wednesday in Cancun, so we decided to book a hotel in Tulum. If you haven't watched my video in Cuba, make sure to do so, because I'm gonna leave a link down below as well. Here's a quick tip for you. So if you land in Mexico, any part of Mexico, or if you land specifically in Cancun, make sure that you actually take an Uber to wherever you want to go. If you want to go outside of the Mexico airport or Cancun airport, they're gonna tell you that you're not gonna be able to use any type of Uber on there because it's illegal. In reality, it's not. They're just trying to tell you that they don't want Uber in the city. So that's sad, but at the same time, it's a really good information that you need to know, because it's not illegal. You can take Uber, and make sure you get out of the airport so you can actually take an Uber to whatever destination you want to go. So you might ask yourself, what is Tulum? Because most of the places that you're gonna hear of people going is gonna be Cancun, right? Places like those. But let me explain you what is Tulum. Tulum is located at 125 kilometers away from Cancun and 76 miles, which is the same thing, away from Cancun. Tulum is a very small town south from Cancun, where you're going to be able to see the most incredible Mayan ruins. Tulum was built in the 13th century. It has some of the incredible ruins and really good imagination. These ruins can make some really good figures. It has an amazing view of the blue sea, and it was a seaport, trading mainly in turquoise and jade, as well as being the only Mayan city built on the coast. Tulum is considered a central location to many places. From there you can head out to spring waters, which Mexicans call them cenotes. Coba, which I'll explain later on what is it. Chichen Itza, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, and many more places. So you might ask yourself, how can you get there? As I mentioned before, we landed in Cancun airport and we wanted to head to Tulum. We tried different taxis and small micros, but all of them trying to charge us 2,000 pesos to get to Tulum. So we knew that it was overpriced. So I pulled out my phone to see if an Uber was working in Mexico, and it did. Quick tip, talk to your cell phone carrier to see if you qualify to get free data in Mexico. I qualified for 1 gig of data, no extra charge. The guy charged us 1,200 pesos, which translates to $57, and divided by 2, we pay $25 for a 2-hour ride, which is not bad. Before you arrive to Tulum, make sure to book a hotel, but before anything, make sure you stay in the center. As you can see, we stayed in the Hotel Mango Hotel, and the reason why I want to mention this, because it's going to save you a lot of time going to stores, to bars, to everything. So make sure to go to websites like hotel.com, expedia.com, because there's no Airbnb in there. So after you arrive to Tulum, you might be asking, what can I do in there? So I'm gonna give you all the places that you can go, and I'm gonna show you in the video so you can give a sense of how they're gonna look in that, and hopefully you can like it. The first place that you should go is gonna be to the Cenote Ik, which is located 150 kilometers, which is equals to 93 miles from Tulum. To get here, you can use 3 different methods of transportation. One is gonna be the microbus, which is gonna take you around 2 hours. You can also rent your own car, or you can also rent your own scooter, which is gonna be only $25 a day. If you decide to take the touristic bus, it's gonna charge you like around $65, but that one is gonna be a complete package. So I'm gonna explain you later on what this complete package is gonna consist on. To get in the Cenote Ik, you need to know one thing. You need to take a shower before you jump into the cenote. Cenote Ik Kil Cenote means natural wealth in Spanish. It's a large sinkhole on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula that is sacred to the Mayans. The peninsula's unique composition of porous limestone has resulted in several of these water-filled sinkholes, but Cenote Ik Kil is one of the most famous. The hole is 90 feet deep, adorned in tropical vegetation and filled with clear blue water. The Mayan royalty used for both relaxation and ritual sacrifices. And here is an interesting piece of information. So you saw where I was standing on the top. So actually Red Bull dived all the way from the top into the hole, and I thought that was pretty amazing. I loved it. Say some of the bad sides of hiring a company to take you to these places is that it's not gonna give you enough time to enjoy the full out of it. So if you decide to take a bus to these places, they're only gonna give you like around 30 minutes if you wanna enjoy this cenote before you move on into the next trip or into the next section of the package. After being 30 minutes in the Cenote Ik Kil, we decided to move into the next station, which is going to be the next segment of the trip. So you can definitely go to Chichen Itza since it's very close to Cenote Ik Kil, and it's going to take you like around 30 minutes in bus if you decide to take a car because you rented one car, or if you have a motorcycle and you can always go and it's not going to take you that long. It's very close by Ik Kil. Okay guys, so here's gonna be a quick tip for you. So whenever you go to Chichen Itza, make sure to bring a hat because it's gonna get really hot. So they're gonna be selling a hat for like $5 on the streets, as you can see. And if you don't really have an option, make sure to buy it because it's gonna save your life. In most touristic agencies, they're gonna include the ticket to Chichen Itza, but in case that you don't get a touristic place that you can travel with, you're gonna get a ticket which is worth 165 pesos. 165 pesos equals $8 to $9 now as of March 2nd, 2018. Chichen Itza is rich in monumental architecture and sculpture which promotes themes of militarism and displays imagery of jaguars, eagles, and feathered serpents. Probably the capital is ruling over of neighboring states. Chichen Itza was one of the great Mesoamerican cities and remains today as one of the most popular tourist sites in Mexico. Chichen Itza is one of the 7 wonders of the world, and they have some astonishing views. I love them. You might be asking yourself, what are we doing on the wall? So we're looking at a field where Mayan people used to play with the ball, which was 5 kilograms heavy, which is a lot of, it's like converted to that is like 11 to 12 pounds, and it was pretty heavy, and they used to play for their lives in here. So you're gonna listen to us doing some sounds with our voice because you can hear the echo in the background, and it's going to sound funny.
Una, dos, tres, ¡ja! La última, una, dos, tres, ¡ja! Oh my fucking god. Shit.
This is a very interesting fact about Chichen Itza. As you can see, the stairs are composed of 365 stairs, which is equals to the calendar Mayan. And also, if you can see in this Chichen Itza castle, is that every time that you clap your hands, a sound of a bird is gonna make, and it sounds really good. The next day after Chichen Itza, we decided to just do something adventurous, so we went down to the center of Tulum, and we decided to just hire like some random agency which was gonna show us different cenotes around all Tulum. So one of the packages was that they were gonna give us motorcycles so we can ride in the jungle, and it was a really good experience. I would definitely encourage you to do it. It was only 500 pesos, which is equivalent to $25, and they are going to show you all the cenotes around, and they are pretty good, but they are not good as the first one, which is Ik Kil. And personally, they are nice, but The other one, the first one that I show you is one of the best ones that you can go and experience yourself in Tulum. But if you go with your family, you're gonna be able to explore different cenotes. And as you can see, this one is pretty good, and the water is completely blue. It's just an amazing view. You're gonna be able to see fish, and you're gonna be able to see a lot of things. And you can dive. You can have a lot of fun whenever you go in with your family. After the first cenote, we decided to go to another cenote because it was late in the day. So we decided to go to this cenote which was underneath the water, and that one was really scary because it seemed like there wasn't no light. So take a look at these clips. We didn't stay for too long, so after we decided to just leave, and the diving was around like 5 to 10 minutes. So after we decided to just leave, and we went right into the zip lining. So the zip lining was part of the package. So whenever you go to the center of Tulum, this agency is gonna charge you that amount of money. It's like around $25, and it's pretty cheap to do all these extreme sports. So I'll definitely encourage you to do it because it was a really good experience. So after the zip lining and everything, you're gonna get a chance to jump again from another cenote. So this cenote is like 7 feet long, so actually it's a little bit more than that, 8 feet long. And you're gonna get a chance to just go around and play with ropes, do some jumps, like whatever you want to do, and spend all the day there. So you can spend like around 2 more hours in there if you really want to, or if you want to, you can just head back to your hotel. After jumping around in all the cenotes, so we decided to just finish it like that because we were so exhausted because of the motorcycles, zip lining, swimming in the cenotes, and we just decided to just go home and relax. And right now we're gonna jump into the day number 3 of this complete guide. So this is our last day in Tulum, so we decided to go to the Tulum Castle, which is located like around 10 minutes away from where we're located at, and we decided to just rent like a motorcycle, and it was pretty cheap. It's only $25 for the whole day. The only bad news is that they don't allow you to go in a motorcycle to these places. So we decided to just take a walk, and we wanted to buy the tickets, and the tickets are actually 80 pesos, which is equivalent to almost $5 per ticket. So we actually met friends with a policeman on there, and he decided to just take us for free all the way to the castle, which we thought it was pretty good.
Y la pagas ahí mismo.
Ahí mismo. ¿Cómo está detrás?
As you get to the top, you're gonna be able to see so many ruins, and personally they look amazing. As I mentioned before, you can make figures by just thinking about the rocks and just seeing the figures on the rocks. It looks very good, and I really love it. And also, if you really walk all the way to the top of the castle, you're gonna be able to actually go to the beach, because it's next to that, and the beach is astonishing. It's blue, it's clean, and it's clean water. It's very clean water. I'll definitely suggest you to bring some clothes, and make sure to bring a hat, because I cannot stress that enough. So make sure you bring these things, because you can actually just go into the beach and just lay down there for like a couple hours, and so you can have a really good time. So right after we finished visiting the Tulum Castle, we decided to go to Coba. Since our day was very limited, we decided to just jump right into the motorcycle, and we head all the way to Coba. Coba is located 47 minutes away from Tulum. So if you decide to get a motorcycle or a car, it's gonna take you 47 minutes to get to Tulum, and make sure you go up there before 6 o'clock, because they usually close the place around 6 o'clock. Any place that you're gonna go in Tulum or around Tulum is gonna close before 6 o'clock, and usually they open like from 7 to 6 p.m. So this is an important tip that you need to know. Once you arrive at the surroundings of Coba, it's going to be impossible for you to reach that destination because you can either only go by walking or in a bicycle. So if you want to go in a bicycle, you're going to rent it for 60 pesos only, which is equivalent to $3. Or you can just go by walking, but keep in mind they're going to close the place at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So make sure you go there before they close. Oh, Coba, oh, beautiful Coba. For many years, Coba was an ignored piece of Mayan history due to its location. Located between Tulum in the state of Quintana Roo and Valladolid in the state of Yucatan, archaeologists first learned about the site in the mid-1800s. But the dense jungle, the castle war, and the lack of funds made this site a difficult area to penetrate. This Mayan site is still largely unexcavated, making it a true wonder in the Yucatan. Coba was finally opened to the public as an archaeological site in 1973. Archaeologists have estimated that 6,000 structures exist, but only 3 settlements are for the building. Here you're gonna see a lot of tourists, and also this is a really good place to take pictures, take videos. If you love photography, this is a place for you. You're gonna love this place. Okay everyone, so this is gonna conclude the places to go in Tulum, and I hope you really had a good time as much as I did. And if you decide to go, make sure to take my tips because it's gonna save you a lot of time, it's gonna save you a lot of money, and you're gonna get the most out of your trip. So after the ruins of Coba, we decided to just head out and just eat something. And don't think I forget about food, clubs, bars, and all that. So I'm gonna cover all these topics in the upcoming video. The food in Tulum is very cheap, so if you decide to stay in the center where I mentioned, you're gonna be able to find all the food that you need. And if you decide to just buy one meal every single day in the morning time, it's gonna be around $5, which is equivalent to 100 pesos per meal. So in the breakfast, if you're gonna get something on the breakfast, it's gonna be 100 pesos, and in the afternoon, in the evening, 100 pesos. So the total will be like around, doing the math, like around $15 to $20 daily, which is not bad. But if you decide to go more fancy than that, you want to eat different things, you can go ahead of that. You can go to restaurants, and in Tulum there's not a lot of restaurants, but there is gonna be a lot of street food. So if you decide to go on that route, you're gonna save a lot of money. And just to give you a quick thing of what you're gonna expect in food in Tulum, is gonna be a lot of quesadillas, tortillas, a lot of burritos, a lot of tacos, and a lot of spicy. So if you like spicy, you can always add it to your plate. In Tulum, there's not gonna be a lot of nightlife, but there's gonna be 2 to 3 places that I will definitely recommend you to go if you want to experiment something in the nightlife. But as I mentioned before, there is not so many places that you can go and then you want to go to a bar, you want to go dancing, or you just want to go and hang out with people. It's very few the spots that you can find in Tulum, but I'm gonna mention to you 3 that you can go. And the first one is gonna be Bate and Mojito Guarapo Bar. So I'm gonna show you on the screen so you can see, take a look at the bar. The second one is gonna be Pasito Tuntun, and the third one is gonna be Caribe Swing. So in these places you can go and meet a lot of people if you decide to just go and hang out. If you would ask me how many days would you stay in Tulum, I will give you an estimate number, which is going to be between 2 to 3 days. I think in 2 to 3 days is going to be enough, so you can see everything in Tulum and you can travel to all these places like Chichen Itza, all the cenotes that we went over with, and the Castillo Tulum, all these places, amazing places. So it's going to be between 2 to 3 days, and that's going to conclude the complete guide for this one place, which is going to be Tulum as of today. So if you really had a good time as much as I did, make sure that you're gonna watch the second video, which is gonna go after this one. I was trying to keep this video under 15 minutes, but it's so many history and so many things that you can do in Tulum that I wasn't able to do it. So I hope you really like it, and make sure to check out the next video in this one, which I'm gonna be traveling to Playas del Carmen. and I'm gonna explain you everything about Playas del Carmen, about where can you stay, where are the places that you can go, how much is food, what are the costs of living, and everything of that. So if you like this video, make sure to check the next one. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below so you can check the next video, which is gonna be part 2. And until the next time, I hope you really had a really good day, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye.